All right. So it's gonna be just chilling podcast. I'm not even counting episodes right now, so I don't know what fucking episode this is. Got my boy Wally Hipolito. Man, comedian, podcaster, creator. I mean, just a talented dude from the other side of the fucking country, man. You know what's going on out that way?
What's good, Miguel? Thanks for having me back on, bro. Just living this post-COVID life, trying to navigate this shit, getting into entertainment, doing basically the whole California thing, living the California dream. Feel me? Like I'm just trying to make it, man. I appreciate it, dude. I'm just really trying to work hard and put in my 10,000 hours.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Like I said, it's been. I don't think I had you on the YouTube format. That's what I was just asking you about, but yeah, definitely had to get it done. Our time, and I just want the people to know how hard it is for us to get our timing linked because the Cali time is different from Alabama time. And
Yeah.
like I said, I'm doing work and school, and man, by the time I get home and eat, I'm thinking like it's time for bed and shit like that. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get up with Wiley, and it's something I don't want to pass up because I know how busy me and you both are. If I got a chance, I want to go ahead and knock it out.
Hell yeah. Hell, you grinding though, bro. I see you, man. You back in school and you working and you got a family. That's no small feat in itself, you know. That's a lot more than people can handle most times. Like that's why I'm single, bro. Like I can't do that shit right now.
You're right. Man, I don't know, man. Every time I just have a down day, I just think of what would Dwayne Johnson do, and then it
Yeah,
gets it gets me through.
yeah, I've been thinking about that, like especially now, because I'm so busy doing comedy, podcasting, writing, and other things. I you have a lot of you have a lot of days where you're unmotivated, right? And I just like I like to go to like refer back to like Nipsey Hussle or The Rock or even like someone like Manny Pacquiao, where like especially because Manny Pacquiao just retired, just reminds me like okay, if you kind of want to ascend to greatness or some type of greatness in yourself, you got to make the sacrifices.
Mhm.
And honestly, I think, I'm nowhere near where I want to be as far as a comedian and, all the other endeavors that I'm getting into right now. But like, I feel like right now I'm making I'm making the sacrifice and I could feel the work coming back to me. I could feel like slight payoffs. You know what I mean? Like I just had a show. I had 8 shows last week, and it
That's
was
good.
fucking crazy, man. Like
That's
I just
good.
started doing comedy like 6, 7 months ago before I started doing the podcast. I had you on.
Mhm.
I had you on when I first started off Stoop, and
Yep.
I started doing comedy in April, and like I said, I made a lot of sacrifices and I did a lot and I've been grinding, bro. And it kind of just last week was kind of just a culmination of the first part of my career, and it's been great, man. Like it's been crazy to see like the progression so far, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, man. Like I said, you staying busy, I'm staying busy. That's what it's all about, not staying still. And I was gonna say, even on top of that, even on top of what all you said I was doing, I'm still trying to call myself working out too. So I got a 24-hour gym. Sometimes I try to sneak in there and get a couple of sets of workout in and stuff like that. I want to know, what do you have any type of workout, regimen you going through or anything right now?
Yeah, man. So I work out like 4 or 5 times a week. I either go hoop when I have the day off, usually on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That's
Uh,
the
but
best workout.
but
Yeah.
I'll either go running, I'll go hoop, or I'll go to the gym and lift also. It really just depends on the day and where I'm at. I also wake up really early in the morning, around like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and do yoga. So I
Okay.
start I start off my day with like 20 minutes of yoga, brush my teeth, do some yoga, and then I get a little bit of water in, and I kind of start my day at like 6 or 7 o'clock, and just try to get the ball rolling. But I'm
No,
not gonna
no,
lie to you.
no, you're right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The last couple of weeks, I have been kind of slacking because there's so much going on. But
Shit going on, yeah.
yeah, but I'm starting tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna start getting back into the routine of like eating hella healthy and
Right.
getting back on my shit and yoga in the morning.
Yeah, it just helps. It just helps you keep moving and stuff like that. But you said you was on that yoga, like while we're in the class, so we'll have 2 days of body work where where they'll just teach us like massaging strokes and stuff like that, and we'll actually work on each other. So our teacher get us started, and it's like a big room, so he'll get us started on each other, and then like 10 or 15 minutes later, I look over and this motherfucker's like, he's like doing like yoga stances on the side of the room, and he's all like, like he's on the floor and shit, stretching real hard, doing his yoga while we getting our massage session out. So like my teacher, he takes his yoga pretty serious too, and he try to sneak it in whenever he can get it in.
Bro, like honestly, stretching is such an underrated thing, you know?
You got me stretching. I did some stretching this weekend. First thing I wanted to hit with you for real was the Wilder Fury 3 fight. So well, did you see that, and how did you digest it?
Man, that was, you know, a lot of people I did see it, and honestly, that was probably like one of the best fights I had seen in a long time from boxing. I mean, and I think this might be a little bit of hyperbole, but it might be one of the best fights we'll see in a while when coming from the heavyweight division, because after Wilder and Fury, like who's next for Fury? It was supposed to be Anthony Joshua, but he just lost to the Russian dude.
Usyk dude.
Yeah, or whatever, you know, whatever he is. And then, and honestly, I never thought Anthony Joshua was that great to begin with. I mean, he honestly just fit the mold of like a pretty boy out in England, you know. And in Europe, you gotta have somebody that you gotta have some European to hold up, right? When it comes to boxing. But boxing in Europe is not that great. Like if you want to be good, you gotta come to America and like beat the fucking dogs. And I honestly don't I would like to see a part 4.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't see why I don't see why Fury would want to do it. You know what I mean?
I don't think he wanted to do 3. I think I heard somewhere he didn't even want to do 3.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of believe that, but you gotta give the people what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in a trilogy like that. Like Dustin Poirier and fucking McGregor are gonna go round 3 soon, or did they go round 3, or are they going round 4?
You know, no. I know what you mean, because he broke his leg and he still said he wanted to fight him when he got healed up.
Yeah, so that was
Connor's leg is fucked up right now.
When he broke his leg, was that was round 2, right?
I think it was 2.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to give the people what they want. No matter the outcome, you got to give the people what they want. But anything beyond that, it's kind of like, that's really the fighter's choice at that point. But dude, that fight was amazing. Like
my friend said that Tyson's been knocked down before, but I said, hell, I haven't seen anybody knock him down but Deontay. I haven't seen Tyson on his ass like that, or anybody that can put him on his ass like that.
You know what made it exciting though? The fact that it was just, you don't know, like one hit can turn the whole fight around. And there were at least like 7 to 14 hits that you were like, oh shit, like this could go bad. And dude, I gotta commend Wilder, because the first couple rounds his footwork looked a lot better.
Yeah.
But after like about the 4th round, he looked bad, yo. Like his legs were.
They said he came in. They said he came in with the right game plan, and he abandoned it. Like for his legs, when he abandoned the game plan, and he just started going for that big hit. He came in with a game plan, but Tyson made him get out of it.
Yeah, you know what though? His what he really needs to work on was his technique. Man, his technique is fucking terrible. Like the first couple rounds, he was jabbing at the body, and you know you want to stay long because they're both long dudes. But like even like a simple jab or something, he just can't do it, and it looks when he does it, or when he was doing it to start the match, it looks so unnatural to him, like he was like forcing himself to make those motions. And that's what I think for going forward, whoever Wilder fights next, he's definitely got to work on that, because I mean his whole career has been based off power, right? And just like
one punch,
one big hit. But you know, as you get older, that doesn't stay with you. And you know, the young bucks are going to be able to withstand that big shot. Like especially when you're an old man. So, I mean, Fury can retire happy, but Wilder, I think, I mean, I would be kind of disappointed if he retired too, but I don't see that happening at all.
Deontay, yeah, he should have a few more fights. And fucking Tyson's younger than he is. So that's the crazy part about it. I
Yeah, but
think Tyson's 33.
well, you got to remember Tyson is a former drug addict, so his body is a lot older than it kind of leads on. You know, like as well as he's doing in life, those things come back to you. You know, and not in a major way, but your body decays a little bit more, and you know it gets a little bit slower. It ages a lot quicker.
Yeah. I want to move on to the progression of the podcast, Off the Stoop podcast. You the host of it. What was your vision for the new setup? How did you go from here to there now with the whole growth of it?
Yeah, so I took a break in March because a lot of personal shit was going on with me, and I just I couldn't handle doing a podcast at the same time like as I was like working through those things. And then I started doing stand up. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna start doing the podcast soon. And my producer Justin, shout out just my boy Justin, he actually met me at a mic that I was doing at a show I was doing, and he was like, yo, I fuck with you. Let me know if you do anything else. I was like, yeah, bro, I got a podcast. I'm trying to start that back up soon. He was like, bro, I'm in. And the growth of the podcast started with him. Honestly, I got to thank him for it because I didn't want to come back with the same old thing with the podcast where I'm just like always interviewing people through Zoom, which isn't a bad thing, but I wanted to be up and close with people. I wanted to give people, I wanted to have a base where I can invite people in and it's easily accessible. So I hit up my boys at Sheesh Records. Shout out Sheesh Records at 6261 Daly City, California. So they have a spot. It's a record store. It's a barber shop. It's a screen printing shop, and they don't use it on certain days. So I hit them up like, yo, can I rent out your space for a while? And that's, when you check out Off the Stoop on YouTube, like that's the space that we're in now. And, I just wanted that opportunity to bring guests at a different rate in a different area. Cause I don't want to bring these people in my house. Not that I'm opposed to,
I know
but
that's real.
I'm not opposed to the idea, but then like my place is so like it's not built, like the environment isn't
folks scoping out your layout and shit on the low.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get robbed and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not meant for that. The place doesn't look like it. But with Sheesh Records and that studio, it really afforded me the luxury of like, really honing in, like creating a different environment where like people want to, come in, talk, have a good time, and just chill. Like one of the things I was thinking of was I don't want to I wanted to create a fun environment. Like I really wanted to create a fun environment where it wasn't all serious and shit. That's why if you listen to the pod or if you watch it on YouTube, I stay asking guests. Like we have guests on the side. It's basically like a small and it's like maybe like 2, 3, 4 people at most, right? So they'll be on the side, and if there's ever a question that I'm posing and like my co-host or my guest or both, we don't. Not that we don't feel like answer, but we want a different opinion. We just ask the like crowd, like, yo, what's up? What do you think about this? So it's kind of like very loose, laid back.
Yeah, it's open, right? Open-ended.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And like,
dope.
everybody's just having a good time, man.
Yeah. So getting into stand-up, and what was that like? Like when did you wake up one day, or is something that you've been wanting to do in the back of your mind, and what were the first steps you were taking?
Man, so I actually, I've been wanting to do stand-up on like to keep it a buck like my entire life. I always knew I was kind of like a funny dude. I was always like a class clown, and I love writing, I love telling stories, and I love entertaining. I love entertaining people and making people laugh. I actually did stand up when I was 18. I did one show. I did an open mic, and I bombed so hard, and I was like, "Fuck this." And then I bombed, and I was like, you know what? I'm a college athlete. I'm in school. I was like, I don't need to do this shit. I don't need this shit. So I kind of tapered off. And then I was actually supposed to move to New York in May, this past May, but other circumstances didn't allow me to. So I was like, all right, if I knew in early March that I wasn't gonna move to New York anymore. So I was like, all right, if I'm not gonna move to New York and do comedy, I gotta do my hustle here. I gotta get started here. So like, oh well, it was like, yeah, actually like late March, early April. I was like, okay, I gotta check out my resources. Go on Facebook, go on like Instagram, see where I could go to open mics, see how I could connect with people. And then I just started writing stuff, bro. I mean, I had like notebooks filled up, and it was just like a part of just taking it, writing it,
Word.
and kind of just practicing and seeing what works and what doesn't, and going to these mics and just basically filling out your shit, man. Like open mics are amazing because nobody really goes there to bomb or anything. You really just go out to flush out your ideas. It's all about it's basically it's getting your reps in, man. Getting like it's like going to the gym. It is going to the gym. You get your reps in and you just keep going and going. And I've always been a pretty big proponent of like networking. Obviously, you and me network and talk. And that's kind of like afforded me some opportunities to continue and like excel, or you know what, I don't want to say excel, go a lot faster than I feel like I am. And it's been cool, man. Like the community is dope. There's a lot of really supportive people that I fuck with. And
well, I hear that like the bombs make you, because you hear great comedians done bomb before. So you just learn from those, and you kind of come up with some type of a counter punch to that, or you basically just learning the audience, I guess, and seeing what they'll react to. Any you just learn from every reaction, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it's like.
bro, bombing is inevitable.
Yeah.
Everybody does it. In a small sense, you could see in Chappelle's last special, the closer, that he bombed a little bit, because he went back to a place that didn't fuck with him. He went back to Detroit. And bombing does make you, because it battle hardens you, right? Like you really learn, like it's not even only about the jokes. You learn demeanor. You learn how to move about on a stage and how to act. And those little tweaks, those little maneuvers that you do, those little word changes that you do, it all goes into your act. It all goes into your persona. So like a comedian told me this: you're gonna bomb 7 times and have one good show. And I always count. I have a journal separate for my shows, like to kind of like breaking down game film.
Yeah.
So I always look at it every now and then, and I count, like, yo, you had 6 or 7 bad shows, and not even terrible. Just, I mean,
Just
terrible.
not up to your standard. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, how do you get better from that?
Well, I just feel like it's impossible to look out at a crowd and calculate what makes each person laugh. So that's a math equation on its own to me. You or at least see what the majority of the room is going to laugh at, because I believe if I tell you the funniest joke, if I tell the funniest joke to a room full of people, it's still gonna be about 5 people that didn't think it was funny. So
Yeah.
you're playing fucking percentages at some point, right?
Yeah. And with that, that's why you build an audience, right? Because when you build an audience, they kind of know what you're about.
Mine is Dave Chappelle, because we was gonna talk about that in a minute. So who are some of your heroes in stand up?
It would have to be I'm gonna give you a top 5, bro. It had to be Dave Chappelle, obviously.
Take him out.
Take out Chappelle. Okay, it had to be Patrice O'Neal. It had to be Joe Coy. A little bit of George Carlin, Bobby Lee, and then shit. I'm forgetting somebody too. And Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Okay.
Chris Rock. Yeah, Chris Rock is, bro, in from like 95. People forget this, man. From like 1995 to 2005, Chris Rock was hands down like the best comedian out there. People forget that shit. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he ain't lying. Yeah, pretty much because he was about the only one that was doing like real HBO specials type of shit. I mean, everybody else was kind of doing the Def Comedy Jam kind of collective type of thing.
Yeah.
But he was headlining his own shit. I would say probably Bernie Mac probably had a couple of them out there as well. But yeah, so heroes to stand up. Any reason why you picked those that you want that stand out to you?
Well, I mean, Joe Coy is obviously a hero because he's that dude in the Filipino community, you know, this like Manny Pacquiao, fucking Joe Coy, like those are our guys. And I fucking love it. Like obviously he's super relatable and his stories just are like fucking captivating as shit. Chris Rock, when it comes to Chris Rock, like I said, he was one of the best in his time. He had a 10-year stretch for real, and I love Everybody Hates Chris, and his delivery is honestly one of the best deliveries that I love Chris Rock, man. Like I may put him up there over Chappelle in my pantheon, dude. Like I really, really fuck with Chris Rock, but I love Dave Chappelle though. Like, oh my god, but I don't know. I'm getting a little giddy about it, but I can't even explain how much like I fuck with Chris Rock, man.
Yeah.
And what did I say? George Carlin. He's on that same. That's where Dave Chappelle is kind of heading towards, because late in George Carlin's life and in his career, he wasn't even a comedian anymore. He just told the truth. Like he was just speaking verses and fucking hymns and, you know, whatever word you want to use it. He was the voice of the people. He was the voice of society. And that's what Dave Chappelle is becoming. Like, you know, he's becoming a bit of a martyr in that way, but that's no negativity towards what Chappelle is doing right now. Yeah. And then yeah, man, but those are my heroes. Like a lot of my heroes are very controversial. Not even just in comedy, but just like my favorite people in history have been like very controversial people.
Right. I get shit for it, but I'm a Jerry Seinfeld fan. I like Seinfeld.
Shit.
I like his shit. I watch the show. I laugh at his little stand-ups before the show comes on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He makes simple shit sounds funny, like just the normal roundabout day shit, like funny. Like I don't know how he does it, but I mean, it's an art to what he does. I haven't really seen anybody do that style that he does like recently at all. But he'll just make just regular shit sound funny. And I love the show. I love Seinfeld. I watch that shit before Friends any day.
Oh yeah, hands down, hands down. I'm not a huge Seinfeld fan, but I've for sure watch it before Friends.
I know.
Yeah. No, Seinfeld is dope though.
Yeah. So what did you think about today's Chappelle special? Is the criticism warranted? Is the controversy warranted? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think he's doing what he set out to do. He's a fucking lightning rod, bro. And whatever he says it's gonna cause head waves. I forget who said this, but Chappelle, bro. Okay, Chappelle is crawling so we can run. And I'm talking about comedians, because the PC culture has gotten so it's gotten out of hand, you know, like just the fact that we're not allowed to make fun of anybody anymore. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, and just the controversy in it all. It's interesting because I actually posted about this on Twitter, where I was like, you know, you guys are chastising Dave Chappelle for talking about the trans community, but you wasn't talking about him when he was throwing the hard ER out like, and you guys love his TV show, which fucking inherently attacks Black people and all, like, you know, all the shortcomings and, you know, what he thinks or what he used to think about his community. Nobody's getting chastised about that. Like, and it's just crazy, man, that these
no, that's a good point. That's a good point.
that the community, you know, the LGBTQ community, so like you can't make fun of them, which is, you know, there's a certain way to make fun of people, right? Especially in comedy, but to feel attacked at every sense and every moment when somebody talks about you, it's a little ridiculous. You know, you're a little bit up your own ass, but you know, who am I to say? But as far as Dave Chappelle, I mean, as far as the comedy itself and the show itself, it was okay. It wasn't one of his best. It was just like, for me, it was basically a summary of all. It was like the last 2 paragraphs of an essay, right? It's just a summary of everything he was talking about before with a little bit more elongated story, and you know, he closed it up pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the last one. I feel like he was just beating a dead horse at some point. I didn't get the Space Jews joke, and I don't believe that he was molested by his priest or whatever as a child. So a lot of the jokes I didn't get. I'm still a Dave Chappelle fan, but I was just like, I just wanted some more. I just wanted, like, when I see a new special, I just want new material. Some stuff that you've been working on. I could have used some COVID jokes. I don't even think he put any COVID jokes in there. And like my friends have been trying to tell me, because they've been trying to convince me, because this dude's got a following, man. Chappelle's got like serious like followers, and I'm an objective guy. So if I don't like something, I'm just gonna be like, you fire, but that shit wasn't fire. So that's how I felt. And they were like, nah, man, you gotta watch it over again. It's like the bow on top of it's like the bow on top of the gift. It's like the last, like you said, the last 2 paragraphs is there, but the energy, they like, nah, man, like give it another shot, And I just, you know, that's just how I felt about it. And I was just like, you know, I just wanted new jokes. I didn't feel like he needed. Obviously, he's going through something with the LGBTQ community, because I feel like he didn't need to come out and pot shot them again, but he must be really going through something with them. He must be like getting death threats or something from that community for him to come out and say, fuck y'all, fuck this. Y'all finna get this shit one more time.
Yeah.
So I said, he must be going through some shit, man.
But if you listen to the story, right, he talks about how his friend, one of his good friends, the stand-up Daphne, she killed herself because of her own community. She was a trans comedian. And you know,
I didn't like that joke either. Because I feel like that's the equivalent of a white person saying, I'm not racist. I have one Black friend here. Like,
I can see that.
I have one transgender friend here. Like, so she killed herself, and that's tragic. You know, he giving a child money and stuff like that. But I was like, yeah, we know you. I'm pretty sure you do have a transgender friend or gay friends. I'm pretty sure you do. You don't have to say that. So I don't know, man. I don't know why I got this feeling about it, man. For real. I feel like I'm waiting on Cat Williams. I know Cat Williams working on some shit right now, so I'm just waiting on Cat Williams, because that's my guy too.
You know what it is? Oh, well, I'm not gonna excuse anything for Chappelle, but comedy, bro. From my small experience, it has a lot to do with the crowd, and that Detroit crowd ate him the fuck alive last time. He talks about it in his first special, where he was so high he stopped and couldn't get off fucking high, and he came back for the closer, right? So it seemed as if that he didn't want to talk about it, right? Talk about what he talked about, but the crowd wasn't harsh, but they weren't responsive. So it looked like he just said, fuck it, you know, I'm just gonna go fucking blaze the glory. Because dude, Chappelle has a lot to say about a lot of shit. And you were right, going back to what you said earlier, he didn't talk too much about COVID, but he did talk about the baby. So it goes to show that that special was fucking recent. That wasn't like the last 2 months, because the baby happened, what, like 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened not too long ago. So I think because a lot of comics do this, they have stuff stored in their bank, especially the greats, right? They have a bunch of shit. And it looked like to him, he said, fuck this Netflix money. I got the bag anyways. And I'm just gonna talk about what I want to talk about because this Detroit crowd is fucking trash.
Mm-hmm. Let's transition because I don't know how much time my camera go give me. uh,
We
but
got time, bro. We got
yeah,
time.
yeah. Kyrie Irving, man. We on COVID, so we can talk about Kyrie Irving. You're a sports fan just like I am. You know who the hell Kyrie Irving is. How do you feel about that? What do you think is gonna happen in that situation?
Man, Kyrie is trying to have like he's really trying to have like his Colin Kaepernick moment, you know what I mean?
I feel the same
Like
way.
he really thinks he's capped right now. And it's like, dude, we know in 2 weeks you're gonna get the fucking test, bro. Or you're gonna get vaccinated, bro. Like stop with the cap because the NBA starts today's the 17th. So the NBA starts on Wednesday, bro. 41 games out of the year that you're not allowed to play at home. I know did the NBA ban him in general?
He's not bad. He's just not allowed to practice or play with the Nets right now until he gets
At at,
vaccinated.
at all.
Yeah, no.
Because with Andrew Wiggins with Golden State, they weren't gonna let him play just at home games
And
because
then and,
California.
and then they said that the 76ers didn't even want him. So they didn't even want to do the trade. They wanted to keep Ben Simmons. They offered, I don't know if they offered it or somebody, we were talking, they were talking about on ESPN that was a possible trade that could happen. And the 76ers were like, no, we're good.
Bro, I mean that would be a shit show. I'm not a Warriors fan, but that would be a shit show going both ways, bro. That would be equally terrible going both ways.
Talking about
Like
for the 76ers and the Nets.
oh no, for the 76ers and the you talking about Kyrie
Yeah,
for Ben?
Simmons for Irving, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Andrew Wiggins for
No,
Ben
he
Simmons.
went on and got his jab. He playing this season.
Yeah. Ben Simmons for Kyrie Irving. I think that would be a terrible trade too, because you already got James Harden.
Yeah. Well,
Like
I'm just saying, but if you Kyrie, I mean, you make that trade, so there's got to be some incentive for him to get his vaccination at some point if he is traded. Like that's like you said, that's the only way you're gonna play. So he gonna have to get vaccinated if he gonna play this season at all.
well, like I also said, he's really trying to have his Colin Kaepernick moment, and that's not a bad thing, bro. Like if you want to, that's my thing. Like the NBA has always been about like social justice, or in recent years they've been about like fighting for social equality, raising awareness about social injustices in the world and all that. And Kyrie, it seems like he wants to be that very worldly person and lead the pack in the NBA. So like you're really at a standpoint where just like Cap, like do you start standing up for the national anthem? Or do you rest on your laurels and fucking, you take one for the team, you take a big hit in your pockets? Because the whole thing with Kyrie, he said, I'm only doing this because other people aren't working right now. Other people, I'm standing with those people. And, that's noble. I commend him for that. But how long is he willing to do that? How long is he willing to fumble the bag until he folds? Or is he not going to fold? Is he going to X himself out of the NBA?
Right. Right. I don't. Like I said, I figure he got enough money to sit out a year if he want to, but that's really just up to him, because
Yeah, hands down.
he got money to sit out a year if he wants to.
He said.
Yeah. So I don't. They were saying that that was the main reason that he went to Brooklyn was to be with KD and everything. So I felt like we were talking about this shit the other day too. We feel like that the Nets knew something. That's why they went and got James Harden because they kind of felt like something was gonna happen with Kyrie and they wanted a fall safe plan, a fail safe plan.
That was fucking smart.
Yeah.
That was
If it plays out the way that it is playing out and he's not gonna be playing with the Nets this season, yeah, that's a great job by the front office of the Nets.
Yeah. What do you think though? You think even without Kyrie, the Nets can go all the way? I think they still got a really good team.
What some of you mean with James Harden and Kevin
Yeah,
Durant?
with KD and just James Harden, I think that's
That's
all.
enough. That's enough to get there, but it's not enough. I don't think it's enough to put them over. I still think like LeBron and them probably gonna take it.
Bro, I hate this. I hate this Lakers team. I'm a Lakers fan, but I hate this Lakers team. It
I'm
looks
a
so.
yeah.
It
Go
looks.
ahead.
So, it doesn't look good. You know,
Yeah.
like it doesn't mesh together. It's just a bunch of. It's just a bunch of names. It reminds me of. It reminds me of the Philadelphia Eagles in like 2010 or 2011 when they had like Michael Vick
Yeah.
and then they had like a fucking crazy ass secondary and they called themselves like the Dream Team. And they
Yeah.
ended up winning like 6 or 7 games that year.
Yeah. I remember when they had Vic on the team. Yeah, he didn't even play that much either.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they had Chip Kelly as their coach too. That's why.
yeah. We'll get you out of here on this. Just give me your opinion on self-deprecating humor, because I feel like if I was gonna be a comedian, I would just go up on stage and just shit on myself for like the whole set. Like, do you think people respond to that? Or what do you think? Have you seen comics that come up there and just shit on themselves for the set?
Oh, bro, that is inherent in comedy. I think a lot of people, I think a lot. I mean, I love self-deprecating humor. It's some of the best shit. Like if you're a comic and you don't, I mean, the one of the reasons comics go into this shit is because they're insecure. I'm not gonna lie. They all have like this little insecurity about themselves, so where they crave attention and they want it, they garner it. And self-deprecating humor is like one of the ways to really like entice a crowd. You don't want to shit on different people all the time and think you're perfect. Like I shit on myself a lot. Like I get on myself about a lot of little things. So self-deprecating humor is great. Like it's the
That's what I
shit.
said. If I did it, I would just go up there and just talk shit. I don't think that a crowd wants to come up and hear how good my life is. Like, even if it is good, even if it's horrible, I think they just, they come out to drink and have a good time. I think they just want to,
Yeah,
hear about my flat tire on the way to the show tonight, or whatever,
exactly.
or my busted
Exactly.
window or some shit like that. I think that's what they want to enjoy while they're sitting down or whatever.
Yeah, you got to make yourself relatable, man. Like if you
Yeah.
portray like this perfect ass life, like I don't know, maybe there are better people, there are a lot better people than me at it. Like from my
That,
experiences,
that's the thing with music and comedy as well. Like, as your favorite comedian and our musician gets more recognized, the less material, less shit they got to pull from to make shit that you can relate to. That's
yeah.
why some of your favorite artists, you can't really relate to the music anymore, because they on their fifth house or whatever.
Well, that shows the greatness of like a Dave Chappelle or even like a Kevin Hart.
Yep.
Or in the music world, you talk about like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole. Like even though they're at a certain level of like success and fame and money, they can still relate their famous, yeah, they can still leverage their fame and make it digestible for people to be like, oh, I can relate to that on some certain level in my like ordinary regular life.
Mhm.
So that's not, Kevin Hart doesn't do it as well, but like just the fact that he can crank out this shit and like do stadiums and still have people laugh like that about his everyday situations and have people be like, oh, that does happen to me every once in a while. That's a credit in itself to him.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you hung in here with me through the ups and downs of the technical shit. I got to see what's going on my laptop, but man, it's good to hear from you. It's good to connect with you, man. Just wanted to let you know we respect you, man. See what you're doing. We keeping up with you, man, and proud of you for real, man. You got the podcast going the way you want it and the comedy going the way you want it. Do you want to get into acting and anything? What's the third thing you want to do?
Oh man, acting would be dope, man. I don't know if I have the chops for it, but we'll see in the future. Right now, I just want to focus on my comedy, get better at writing, make sure the podcast is smooth. And I'm a writer, so I have a lot of things in store. But I'm just like I said at the top of the show, I'm just putting my 10,000 hours, bro. Just like trying to pump out as much as I can.
Yeah, but you say you've been out there in LA a little bit, right?
Yeah. I've been driving up and down the coast, here and there every month or so.
You might mess around and end up on the episode CSI, some shit like that, man. You gotta take it. You gotta
Yeah,
take it if they offer it, man.
man, if they do, I'm down. I will not say no to that at all. Like I'm for sure down for that.
All right, man. So that'll be it for today, man. That's all I really got for you. And I'll just be in contact with you, brother.
Right on, Miguel. Appreciate it, bro. It
All right.
was talking to you.